Hey, how you doing? Terrell here for Big Old Bell Media. How you doing today?
Hi.
We're here with Sanaa Hamri, and man, I've been waiting all week to talk to you about this show. Oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
know you are credited to a couple of these episodes that you directed. Can you kind of give me an idea of like what kind of brought you to the Wheel of Time and what you wanted to bring to it?
Well, as a filmmaker, and I used to be a music video director. I worked kind of like in stylized visuals, went from film to television. Was an executive producer and director of Empire. It felt kind of like a natural flow for me to go into the high fantasy genre, just to kind of, you know, create more visuals and challenge myself as a director. I started at the beginning of season 2 as an executive producer, and wound up directing 4 episodes of The Wheel of Time as well, which was really really great. I love the cast. I love being able to dig in deep with these actors as well as dig in deep with the visuals of the show. So that's how that all came about.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, especially you could say any form of high fantasy comes with a lot of expectation and responsibility from the fans. And I think this is a series that I came into and had no idea what was going on. I didn't have the baggage necessarily of a Star Wars or anything else to kind of so you can kind of come into this however you want. Did you feel like there was a lot of pressure to like really get things right the first time around when you did this?
I always feel pressure to get things right. I mean, I like I say, I'm always from the school of let's get it right, let's prep, let's make sure we know what we're doing, communicate with all heads of departments. So I think the challenge is, because I came in season 2, is making sure that it's an ode to season 1, but it also furthers the story. And the stories are a lot further in season 2 because we have all our core characters from the 2 rivers that are now separate, and they're each and every one of the younger characters are going on their own journeys. They're encountering tons of danger, new friends. They don't have each other to rely on. So it's one of those things in which we want to make sure that we're continuing the mythology and continuing the visuals and doing bigger and better as we go on. I mean, that's always the challenge.
Can we talk about Egwene and Nani for a second? And, as I do these week to week reviews of the show, I feel like I know where the story wants to go with it, and I understand like how watching enough fiction how powers unlock themselves as people with characters progress. But it's just something about Nynaeve in particular that just really annoys me. Like I think it's just like she has this power. Like she can do. Everybody knows that she can do it. Everybody knows but her, and it just seems like every time she unlocks the next level, she kind of walks herself back. Was there something that you in particular wanted to show just a little bit more of that of her progression and then like also her degression at the same time?
Well, let's talk about the naive of it all. The reason why it is hard for us to watch is because we see ourselves in that.
Mm,
How many people do we have, our friends, our family, who look at us and go, I knew you could do it, or you can do it, and we don't have the self-confidence. I
right.
feel like Nynaeve touches a nerve in all of us because she, even though she knows, everybody knows she can do it, and she's the most powerful and all of this stuff, she has to know it for herself. And I think that's the key in life for all of us, is that we need to know it first.
Right.
If you're going to do something, if you're going to go to the next step in your life, you have to know it for yourself. Just because everybody else around you says it doesn't mean that it can happen, because you have to have it within self. So we will go on Nynaeve's journey, and I think Zoe Robbins does such a great job, and you'll find out in the finale what happens with her. Same thing with Egwene. Egwene, now we've left her in episode 6. She's basically a Damani, and she's being controlled by Rena, who's a Soldam, part of the Shan Chen, and she has to be saved, and she has to save herself as well, because ultimately the only person you have is you, and that is where the strength comes from.
Right. I think Egwene is more relatable to, a little bit more relatable because she actually, you actually see her kind of almost admit to herself that she is jealous of Egwene, and and the power that she has, and where she's able to get. But as we see as this show progresses, she has this same, almost the same level of power as she's being controlled by Rena. Even though she has to go through a crazy method to find this out, we see how ridiculously powerful she is, as we go in there. So I start to like her a little bit more, as this show goes on, and as the more confident she gets, the more enjoyable of a character she becomes. But like you said, like everybody need, even though people tell you you don't necessarily believe it yourself, like you kind of really have to get to a point where you're like, okay, I am pretty good at this. Like, okay, I can do this. So I definitely
Exactly.
want to see that.
And we know one of the themes, especially in younger people, is self-sabotage. When we're right close to achieving something, then there's that self-sabotage that kind of clicks in. It's about transcending that and overcoming that. And I think, Nynaeve represents the youth and the lack of when you don't have if you don't have confidence in yourself and you're doubting things, it could be a hard thing. But another great thing about Nynaeve is she doesn't just trust implicitly. She looks at the Aes Sedai. She's in the White Tower and she's like, I'm not too sure about this. And by the way, we find out that Leandrin is a dark friend. So
Yeah.
she felt something. She had that intuition that something was amiss in the the White Tower.
Yeah, the insurance benefits to become a dog friend must be really good because everybody's turning heel. I'm like, please don't let this. Oh my god.
Oh my God. There are a few other dark friends you'll meet. I mean, the finale is insane, but it's always surprising. But then you know what? For example, when you see Leandrin and you see why she became a dark friend, I mean, it's because of her son.
Yeah. I mean that was pretty much on the table. But
Yeah.
at that point, Celine, who came in and pretty much relieved her of that responsibility, it was just like, okay, she could walk away from it at that point. So, but now it's like, okay, I did this for you. Now you got to do this for us. Um,
Yeah.
so okay, definitely another question that's been bothering me as far as uh her. It hasn't been explained, and I'm sure they will at some point. But Celine, who's somehow able to teleport at certain, she's able to have this teleport ability, which we see later. But the scene earlier on in the show where they're pursuing Rand and Moraine, she's not able to pursue him. Is that
Okay.
it?
So I think here's the clarity on this. So Celine is Celine, but Celine we find out is Lanfear, right?
Right.
So Lanfear, who is the daughter of the night, I mean, she is a strong dark force.
Right.
She gets you in your dreams. So that's how it's not teleporting. It's getting you in the dream. So there is, see what I mean? So now if you close your eyes, that is why Moraine is telling Rand, you cannot sleep. Because if he closes his eyes, she will be there. That's how she gets you.
And I love this cat and mouse game. They seem to be playing with each other. Like, no, I'm gonna get you before you get me, and like, no, it's been pretty entertaining. Like
I
this,
hope that clarifies that because now you get why she had to pursue them.
yeah. I mean, it almost kind of comes off like they have a Freddy Krueger. She has a Freddy Krueger ability, like she could just jump out of people's nightmares and
I mean,
dreams. But it definitely makes more sense. But yeah, I was like, why is she on horseback if she could just okay? And I
but
was
she
like, I got
can't because unless if they went to sleep,
hmm,
then she would be right there.
that makes way more sense now. Okay, let's go ahead and pop some non-sleeping pills.
Don't go to sleep.
Jumping back to Rand, what was something that going into your episodes you were directing that you definitely wanted people to see more about him, other than because his path and Nani's path almost seems similar, as far as like how they're both super powerful, but they're slightly unconfident on how to use it or trying to figure it out. What was something that you definitely wanted to show in the episodes that you were directing with him?
Well, Rand's trajectory in season 2 is different than Nynaeve's because he knows he has the one power. He's going to he knows he can practice how to kind of harness it, but it's known that men who have the one power go mad. and lose their minds. That is what he's running away from. He doesn't want to lose his minds. If Aes Sedai's find out a man could channel, they gentle him, which means control him and basically throw him in a cage. So that is what Rand is kind of contending with in season 2. When it comes to capturing the moments, when we start with Rand at the beginning of the season, he's kind of hiding away. Then he has to actually go out there and pursue. And as you will see, he becomes more of a superhero character. And hopefully we'll find out by the finale, is he going to get consumed by the dark force, or is he going to be able to save his friends?
The state of television has me so nervous right now. And like just enjoying TV in general, like because like while you're watching something, you'll get an announcement that something was canceled. And you're like, I guess I'll, it just almost kind of ruins it for you. And this is definitely a show that I want to see, and to its completion. And it's been so good since I've started watching it.
Wow.
I mean, like obviously, like the books have been around forever. Like people have been trying not to spoil this for me, like every week. Like, oh, this part is coming. I'm like, don't say nothing. What has been like so far in season 2 from what we've seen? What has been your favorite moment of the show so far?
That's such a great question. I think the favorite moments are really about working with the actors and bringing the characters to life. I really enjoyed working with Zoe Robbins doing the Trial by Arches. I found that such a powerful and deep kind of episode, dramatically strong. I mean, all of the actors, we've got amazing scenes between Moraine and Siwan, Moraine, Rosamund Pike, and Sophie Okonedo, which is just a tremendous. And I just find that we were able to really explore in season 2 different locations. We were in Italy, we were all over the Czech Republic, and we were in Morocco, which is where I'm from. So I was excited to shoot in my own country. So it's such a treat. All of those moments matter. And then you bring on, the visual effects, and then it's just like creates just an amazing painting.
Yeah, the locations. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely that Prime Video money. I appreciate being able to shoot on location. Everything looks good. I think I make a point to say that you can. I'm like, is this CG? No, this is actual location. It looks really good. I mean,
Yeah.
however you guys did it, you did an amazing job.
Well, the thing is, I just want to say one point to that is that one thing that I wanted to bring to season 2 as an executive producer was making sure that we really use the locations and we do a lot of in-camera stuff, and then we add the visual effects on top. I feel like that it creates a more organic feel to it, and a lot of stuff was in camera.
Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to see how much more you do, especially going into this finale. Can't wait to see episodes 7 to 8 and how this all ends, and hopefully we get this third season in the works. I really appreciate you for taking the time to do this interview with me today. Thank you so much. You've answered all my questions that's been buzzing in my head. Yeah.
We clarified the dreamland. Don't go to sleep tonight. She'll find you.
Thank you so much. I hope we could do this again.
Thank you, Terrell.